How did I make waking up at 5 a.m. a habit, and how has it made me more productive? Let's chat about it. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick Russell and this is Let's Chat Tech with Nick. Now, in this week's video, I want to talk about the 5 a.m. club. Now, why would anyone ever want to wake up at 5 a.m.? Well, in this video, we'll talk about exactly that and how waking up at 5 a.m. has helped me be more productive as an entrepreneur who works from home. Now, have you ever wondered why the most successful people in the world swear by waking up at 5 in the morning? And trust me, it's not about bragging rights. It's about actually maximizing the hours in the day, especially before everyone demands your attention. Now, waking up at 5 a.m. is actually backed by science. And those who wake up at 5 in the morning feel less stress, are a lot more productive throughout the day. And waking up at 5 a.m. is all about setting that tone throughout the day. And I'm going to break down a few of my favorite habits as how I started waking up at 5 a.m. and how it's helped me be more productive. Now, the first rule in getting up at 5 a.m. is telling your brain to shut up. Now, that may seem a little harsh, but think about it. How many times has your alarm gone off and you've hit that snooze button and laid there a little bit longer? 10 minutes later it goes off, you hit that snooze button again, maybe doze off again. Well, that first rule is the no snooze button rule. Forget about it. That snooze button doesn't even exist. And there's actually a study in the Sleep Medicine Review journal, and it talks about how to avoid sleep inertia. And when you hit the snooze button, that disrupts your whole sleep pattern. So instead of getting, say, that 7 hours of sleep, waking up, dozing back off, waking back up, dozing back off, that disrupts your whole sleep pattern and will make you groggier throughout the day. So to start, get rid of that snooze button. Now, for me, how I avoid that is I have smart light bulbs throughout my house, and with my Google Nest Hub, it has the sunrise effect to the alarm. So at about 4:45, my Nest Hub will slowly start to brighten. And at 5 a.m. when the alarm goes off, it'll actually turn my light bulb on, my bedside light on. Now that's done through a smart switch, but you can control the lights in your room. You can have them gradually get brighter within that 15, maybe 30-minute span, whatever you want to set it up to. But getting even just a cheap alarm clock that has that sunrise effect, or the Google Nest Hub, like the second gen that I have, something like that, that gives you that sunrise effect in the morning. It'll gradually wake you up. So at 5 o'clock, when the alarm goes off, you're up. There's no need to hit the snooze button, and you can get started with your day. Now let's talk about the next step that you're going to do as soon as your alarm goes off. Now, the next step in waking up at 5 a.m., the next habit is hydration. Now, while you're sleeping, your body is actually depleted of fluids. So you're dehydrated. Now, what you want to do as soon as you wake up is hydrate. Now, this method is called hyperhydrating. So whether you have your Coleman 1 liter water bottle next to the bed like I have, or your Yeti or Stanley mug, or even just a pint glass of water that you fill up and put on your nightstand before you go to bed, the first thing you want to do when you wake up is grab that glass of water and chug that back. What that's going to do is going to replenish all the fluids in your body. It's going to hydrate you. And it may not sound like it, but drinking that water and hydrating you will wake you up and give you more energy than having a cup of coffee in the morning. Now, for me, I do still have 2 cups of coffee in the morning, but that's more out of habit. Actually, hyperhydrating first thing in the morning and then drinking water throughout the day is what actually gives me that energy to keep me going. And technically, I don't need coffee, but having that warm cup of coffee, especially in my Todoist mug, that's out of habit, and I don't need it, but I still do it every morning. So now that you've hyperhydrated, let's actually talk about getting out of bed and the next step. All right, the next step is actually to get moving. So doing physical activity as soon as you wake up in the morning is going to jumpstart your body and get you motivated to start your day at 5 a.m. So the first thing, whether it's doing some morning stretches, actually doing some sort of exercise, whether that be sit-ups, push-ups, whatever the case may be, or even just getting up, going for a walk, or getting out for a run first thing in the morning, getting your body moving will set you up and help you get into that routine and that pattern of getting up early, because your body is going to start looking forward to and start needing that exercise first thing in the morning. Now, for me, I've kind of switched that up. First thing in the morning on Monday, on Thursday, and on Saturday, I go for my runs. Now, what I'll do is I'll get up and start stretching. I learned that the hard way after I hurt my calf, but stretching before my runs first thing in the morning, that's my exercise. On Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday, what I'll do is instead of going for a run, I'll actually get out and go for a walk. But before that, I'll start working out. Now, when I lost all the weight, I lost all of my upper body mass. So I started exercising in the morning, and I included things like push-ups and sit-ups to work on my core, work on my arms and my chest. That is my exercise. So as soon as I get out of bed, I hydrate. I get up, start exercising, get out for a walk. There you go. Now I'm ready for the day. And believe me, once you actually do that exercise, especially getting that fresh air and going out for a walk, you'd be surprised at how much more productive you can be and how ready you will be for the day. Now, why 5 in the morning? Now, there was a Harvard Business Review study that was performed, and they found that the people that are actually getting up at 5 in the morning are a lot more productive, and it boosts their energy throughout the day. And the reason for that is between that 5 and 8 a.m. span, there's a lot less distraction. Not as many people are up and about, and that gives you a chance to get up, get your movement in, get your exercise in, and then get the hardest tasks out of the way first. So throughout the day, when you do have those distractions, all of your so-called frog tasks, because I use the eat the frog method, are done. Once those are out of the way, you slowly trickle down that list for the easier tasks. So when you are distracted by phone calls and meetings and whatever the case may be, all of your hard tasks are out of the way before people are even up in the morning. Now, getting up at 5 in the morning is not the easiest thing to do. And you shouldn't just automatically wake up at 5 when you're used to getting up at, say, 8 in the morning or 9 in the morning. What you should do is slowly work your way to that 5 a.m. club and do that in 10, 15-minute intervals. So if you're used to getting up at, say, 8 in the morning, try setting your alarm for 10 to 15 minutes before 8. And then once you get used to, say, getting up at 7:45, set that back maybe 10 to 15 minutes more. So now you could work towards, say, 7:30. Try that for a little bit, and then 7:15, 7, and slowly make your way to 5 in the morning. And once you do that, your body is going to get used to getting up earlier and earlier every morning. So once you get up at 5 in the morning, after a set time, you're good to go. Now, one of the other things, not so much at getting up at 5 in the morning, this kind of ties into those that work from home like me. So getting up at 5 in the morning is a great start in helping be a lot more productive throughout the day, but actually getting up and dressing the part. Now, I'm typically in a hoodie and jeans, and that's okay for what I do. But if you're somebody that works from home, actually pretending as if you're going to an office, actually getting ready, that just shifts your mindset in helping you be a lot more productive. So setting the alarm, getting up and doing that morning routine to help you be more productive, and then getting in the shower, getting ready, getting dressed, that's going to help shift your mindset. Now, there are studies that have been done that show those who actually get up, work at a desk, and get dressed are a lot more productive than somebody that's going to sit in a robe or PJs, sit on the couch, sit on their bed and work. You'll be a lot easier, you'll be distracted a lot easier working from the couch than you will be from a desk setup. So all of that is how I'm more productive and how I get up at 5 a.m. and use that to my advantage to be a lot more productive. All right, now waking up at 5 a.m. and everything we just talked about is crucial to be more productive, especially for entrepreneurs that work from home. But there is one really cool tool that has been a game changer for me in being more productive, and that's my Notion Planning Hub template. Now, I've been a planning nerd for a very long time. I've used physical planners like the Momentum Planner from Alex Charfen. I've used the High Performance Planner from Brendon Bouchard. I've even used the physical planners like the Fusion and Panda Planner from Rocketbook. Now, those are all amazing tools, but they take up space. So that's when I decided last year I designed my own Productivity Pro digital planner. And that was something that I used in Samsung Notes. It was a great planner and I loved using that. The only downside to that was it's something that I had to remake every single year, changing the dates, changing times. So when I found Notion and started using Notion, that was the perfect way to design an entire system that is evergreen. You could use this planner every year, no matter what, and you only have to buy it once. Now, everything that I've learned over the years in planning out my day, I've put right into my Notion planning system. From planning out your day using the Eat the Frog method, from using a weekly review and weekly planner using a system from Ali Abdaal, to yearly goal setting and quarterly reviews. All of that in one Notion planner. So if that's something you're interested in and you really want to take your productivity level to the next game, the link's in the description. And that's all I have for you in this week's video. I'll see you next week.